changing lives.
My name is Evie and I welcome you to another exciting episode of Real Talk in the studios of Hope TV Ghana. We are streaming live on Facebook and YouTube, Hope TV Ghana. So please do well to join the conversation by leaving your comments under the comment sections. Your opinions, your thoughts, your agreements, your disagreements, all that is going on through your head when we start discussing this very essential, interesting, and very dicey topic that we are about to discuss right now. Before I share the story with you, obviously, I'd like to tell you that unemployment is one of the issues that are raging the system in Ghana. Among the youths, people are going to school and coming out and wondering what they're going to do with their lives. A lot of people have become entrepreneurs because of unemployment in Ghana, you know, going into what you would call the corporate world, where you get up, you do your 8 to 5. It's not easy to get jobs. People have certifications, people with masters, PhDs, first class honors, you know, second class honors, upper. A lot of people that have gone to school and they've done their best in school come out with a certification, and unfortunately they find themselves not having jobs in the system. This is frustrating. Imagine coming out and having all your plans. I want to start working and saving and maybe get started on family, what have you, all your thoughts. Travel, get this amount of money in your bank account, you know, all the things we dream about when we are in university and all that. And now you come out and you find out that the reality on the ground is totally different from what you've been dreaming of. It can be very devastating. I'm sure most of us have found ourselves in those situations. And today, somebody who is going through such a situation has sent his story for us to discuss, probably help him with some solutions and anybody out there that may be going through this particular situation. Before I let us go through our story, I'd like to show or introduce our panelists to you. We have gone far and near to find you the right panelists for this conversation. These guys, I am very, very confident, are going to share with us exactly what we need to hear when it comes to unemployment in Ghana, and exactly some helps and tips to show that. Okay, the truth of the matter is I have to go for a quick break. When I come back, I'll show you our panelists and then we'll go into the discussion. So please do not go anywhere. I'll be right back after.
So many people were around Jesus. So many people were touching him. Some were pushing him. So many people brushed about him. All of them had problems, but it is only one person. A certain woman which had an issue of blood, 12 years, that really touched Jesus. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of those who diligently seek him.
In his presence.
another exciting episode of Real Talk. My name is Evie, the usual host of the show. I come your way every Wednesday, bringing you very interesting conversations, interesting topics with very educated panelists, people who know exactly what they're talking about. We are live on Facebook and YouTube as well. You can stream live, join the conversation live by leaving your comments under the comment sections. You can share your thoughts, you can share your disagreements, your experiences, or some of the things you've gone through, especially with the conversations or the topics we have on the show. So today I have with me in the studio and joining virtually some of the most amazing people to talk to when it comes to unemployment in Ghana, which is our topic that we are going to discuss today. You know, most people go through unemployment, and they come out from university thinking that, oh, so I got my degree. And usually, most of them do well. They have the first class honors and the second class uppers, and they got great thesis. They come out and they say, okay, so after service, I want to work here, I want to work there. Sometimes even to get the service itself, it's a whole struggle on its own. Then some people are hoping that they'll be maintained after service. Others are hoping that they'll get the jobs of their dreams after service. And you realize they don't even keep you after service. You have to start applying for jobs. You get called for interviews sometimes. Sometimes you don't even hear from them at all. Sometimes you go for the interview and they don't even call you back. Other times you get a call back and the offer is not as great as you would have wanted. And so I'm going to go straight and introduce my panelists to you. In the studio, I have with me Mr. Franklin Owusu-Kari. He, in particular, is someone that I would probably tell you to take a notebook and a pen and jot down all the tips he has for you when it comes to unemployment or trying to get a job in Ghana because of his extensive work in that field. I'll give him an opportunity to tell us what he's done. I heard he's written a book. Maybe he can also share that with us. Joining me virtually too, I have Constance Boache. Constance is a HR person. She's a human resource person. She is a married woman, so she's Mrs. Constance Boache in Japan. And she's also a mental health activist. She does it all, if I should say. She is going to tell us her tips, give us solutions, help this young man out. And then Jemima. Jemima is also Jemima Poma Owusu. She's Odro, sorry. She's going to help us have this conversation. And before they talk about themselves a little, I would want Mr. Kari to take the lead since he's in the studio with me today. Franklin.
Yeah, Evie, it's good. I've been watching you and it's great to be here tonight.
It's good, it's good, it's good. Please introduce yourself to us before we take a look at our story.
All right, well, my name is Franklin, as you said. The name is Kakari. It's Owusu Kakari. Yeah. Okay. Though it's spelled Kari, but it's pronounced Kakari.
Thank you.
Yes, so
Kakari. And
I work with the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program under the Office of the President. And I have huge interest in young people, in job creation, in employment, and dealing with unemployment issues and all that. And over the years, that's what we have been working on. Personally, since I left school somewhere in 2006, I left uni, I have never applied for a job before. I have not written application for a job before.
Oh, wow.
And I'm sure as we go on, we'll be able to share some of these things. It is possible for you to be able to chart a path, a career path, and stick to it. Though sometimes it comes to quite a painful and patient means for you to wait and ensure that you build and grow yourself within the time. So we'll be able to share some of these things. And really interested in a young man's story, which we'll be hearing you share with us.
Yes.
For us to be able to see how best we can help him and also other likely young men and women out there who are going through those things. So my job with the Office of the President is to help us to be able to curb the rising graduate and youth unemployment that we have in the country by looking for other alternative means to be able to solve the problem. And we are doing that through proactive job searching and also entrepreneurship developments. And that has been the key thing we've been doing over the years.
Okay, you heard it yourself. He is going to give us all the tips. Even I have my notebook. I'm going to take all the notes I need. Okay, Mrs. Constance Boache in Japan. Constance ran away and left us in Ghana. And today she's joining me via Zoom. Constance, how are you doing? It's so good to have you on the show once again.
It is. It is. Thank you very much, Evie, for having me this evening. I hope everybody is doing well at Hope TV.
We are doing well. We miss you though, but we are fine.
Oh, that's so mutual because I miss you all.
That's great. But Constance, you work with human resource. I'm sure this is a first-hand problem that you encountered here in Ghana. Could you tell us what you do? And also, you're a mental health activist. I particularly was interested in that because of the depression aspect the guy mentioned. Yeah. So I'm sure you would be of great help. Just share with us exactly what you do, and then we can go into the story after Jemima speaks.
Okay, thank you very much, Evie. So like you rightly said, I am a human resource professional. I have actually been practicing human resource altogether over 10 years, over a decade. I've actually come across some of these issues in my work life. I have mentored some people out of these situations. And so I'm hopeful that I would be of help to this gentleman and any other persons who are going through similar situations. About myself, I liked what your guests in the studio said about the possibility of never having to really comb the whole of Ghana before you can get a job. It is possible.
Yeah.
Yes, I can actually say confidently that right from my first degree through my second degree, there's never been a time when I have been without a job. I am currently the HR manager for the United World Schools in the UK. And my transition from my job in Ghana to my job in the UK was just like a day. And as and when you want to work, irrespective of where you find yourself, you should be able to market yourself, remain relevant, and be able to get a job. And you should be able to package yourself in such a way that you don't even go looking for, sorry.
Don't worry.
You don't even go looking for recruiters, but recruiters come looking for you. Because currently the job that I'm doing in the UK, it was a new environment to me. I relocated because I had to relocate for family. And I had recruiters coming after me. Not a day would pass without me. As soon as I put my CV out there, not a day would pass without somebody hitting on me to say, hey, I saw you are open for work on LinkedIn. I saw you are in the UK. I saw your CV on CV Library, and I'm wondering if you are available for this opportunity. And so a lot of opportunities are out there, but it depends on how you search. So I'm hopeful that together we can help make some meaning to this gentleman.
I hope so too, and I believe we will. The last but definitely not least panelist joining us is Jemima Puma Odro. Jemima is in the States. Jemima, how are you doing? And I'm so grateful to have you on the show. Please tell us a little about yourself. I know you are studying. You are trying to get your PhD, you're a teaching assistant. So you are with the students. You are literally in the field. So you hear all the things they probably say to you and their frustrations. So welcome once again. And if you could share a little about what you do, that would be great. I think you are muted, Jemima. I think you are muted.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Evie.
You're welcome.
I'm sorry. A very good evening to your viewers in Ghana and greetings to your viewers across the world. I'm really excited to be part of the show today because it's my first time. As you rightly said, I'm Jemima Odro. I'm currently living in the States, precisely Athens, Ohio. And I go to church, attend church at the Columbus Ghanaian SDA Church. So I'm taking my PhD in instructional technology. And as you said, I am a teaching assistant, and I'm currently teaching a course in the undergraduate program that is educational culture and diversity. And so that is what I'm doing right now. And before I came to the US, I worked with a bank that is a pro-credit savings and loans company. I worked for a couple of years, and then before I came to the US, and at a point in time too, I worked with the payment of the BKM liquidation process. I was part of it. I was a supervisor at the Techiman branch before I came to the US. So that is a little about me. And as they already said, when I started working, ever since I completed school, there has never been a time that I've stayed home without working. At a point, when I gave birth to my second child, I had to stay home because he needed some kind of attention. So quitting my job didn't make me stay home, but I found something to do by myself that is not going to kind of put pressure on me because I had to go to a work at a particular point and come back at a particular time. But I tried to do something by myself, and it really worked out for me. And so if you really want to do something, there are a lot of avenues out there that you could explore. Unless you don't want to find something doing, or you want to kind of try to just put yourself in a higher position or something like that.
Yeah.
But life isn't about you just beginning at a higher level. We start with a step. And so if you feel so much proud to start from a very little beginning, that is going to be a problem.
Yeah, it's very interesting you should say that,
stands now.
Because it's like you are so, that is the story. So I want us to take a look at the story, then we'll continue. The guy has issues with job offers being, coming with small salaries. And so we'll just take a look at her story, then we'll have the
And so that's a little about me.
Thank you, Jemima. Thank you so much. So looking at her story, this is from a young man, and he's frustrated already. He says, dear Real Talk, am I being foolish as they say? I ask this because some of my friends think I'm being foolish and others think I am not serious. Here's the story. I am a graduate holding a bachelor's degree, first class honors. I have been searching for a job after national service for about 4 years now. I have applied and applied to so many jobs, but to no avail. It's either I don't hear from them at all. Sometimes I get the opportunity to go for an interview, but they never call me back. And the very few times I get a call back, the offer is terrible. He says, he continues to say, they offer me jobs with very small salaries. I mean salaries that can barely pay for transportation and food, not to talk of saving. So I always reject these offers because I think it's a waste of time. How can I be working and still be suffering with basic savings for emergencies? The job offers are literally hand-to-mouth jobs. My friends and even family think I'm being unreasonable and that I am not serious about working. Because to them, these offers are a startup. I never know what may happen and that I can be searching for another while I work. But the issue is that, however, what if I take the offer and nothing changes? Also, I can't even get time to be going for interviews when I'm working for someone. It will be difficult. I think staying home and actively searching for that good job is better than going to work and being paid peanuts and not getting the opportunity to even search for a job on the side. So he says, am I being foolish as they say? Should I take the low-paying jobs like that, or I should keep searching for a good one? Ghana is so hard that being unemployed can even lead to depression, which I suspect I am even struggling with. Also, what can I do to be a better candidate during interviews? You know, as we are talking about young people coming out of school, quickly I would like to say that, you know, I told you something, I think was it last week or last week, about the young adult relationship retreat, which is coming off. Now we know the date, 29th April to 3rd May 2022. And the fee is a cool 300 Ghana cedi. So now this is for people who have been married for 5 years and below. It is for people between 25 and 35 years. And you can register. You can register with us on www.hopetvghana.org, www.hopetvghana.org. And the registration fee is a 50 Ghana cedi, which is non-refundable. So that is just by the way. Franklin, please, what is your general take on this story? And I remember he mentioned going for interviews and sometimes they don't call him. And even those who call him, they are giving him peanuts. Is there, can it be how he interviews? Is he bad at interview? Like, I don't know what the problem is, but I have had friends too who say that. They say, oh, my certificate is good, and I think I did well, but they don't call me back. And some jobs, even, they do give you feedback why they didn't pick you. And they say things that they go like, is that me? I think I'm great at, you know, they are so doubtful. So is there a way you can position yourself that when you go for an interview, someone will say, you kill it?
Well, I picked some snippet from the story. You know, 4 years after national service, now has been searching for a job. People are not responding to him. You know, it cuts across, and many people, young people, are going through the same thing. And these stem from different perspectives. You know, if you go for an interview, the problem may be even the ways your CV is structured. And I'm sure Constance will deal with some of these things. The way I've sat on interview panels and you look at an MBA graduate and you look at the cover letter attached to the CV and you ask yourself, really MBA? And write such a poor cover letter. So I don't know how the young man has structured his CV. That can also create problems for him. How he even appears before the interview panel. My friend, first class doesn't give you the job.
You know the way he said first class?
Yes, you know, he has that passionate about I hold first class. I'll tell you, the current crop of employers goes beyond degrees. Okay, now people are looking for your skill set. They are looking for your level of integrity, your problem-solving skills, your conversation, even how you carry yourself. These things are very key when it comes to employment currently. The employers are looking out for how understanding you are. They want people who are not coming to the dining table with fork and knife to eat, but people who are coming with the ingredient to help prepare the meals.
Okay.
So they ask you questions, you think you've killed it. And you know, these days interviews, they don't ask you about what is matter, then you define. So most of colleagues who have first classes usually are very good with academics, but they don't even have a way of networking. They don't even have a way of connecting with people. Okay, they don't have that persona to be able to engage. And now people are looking at that. So you may have a third class person, but this person is really poised. He can really get the client to buy the product of the company. And these are the things that people are looking out for. Your level of interaction, your forthright in thinking. You can think on your feet, your attitude towards issues, how you even resolve issues. If you look at PricewaterhouseCoopers now, they've changed the way they recruit. They prefer people who are more diverse and people who are more socially outgoing than people who are just academically good. So we are going beyond the first classes and the second class uppers and all that. Look at yourself in terms of your relationship, how you deal with issues, in terms of your teamwork, in terms of all the social life. How do you relate with people? These are very key in really getting the job these days. So you shouldn't only rely on your first class and maybe how you perform at the interview, but look at the other options. Probably your CV doesn't even state about anything that you do apart from all the academic credentials that you have. What else do you have on your CV apart from the academic credentials? So all these things are taking note of. I remember we sat on one interview panel and a heap of CVs. And out of this, about 600 CVs, we are looking for just 8. But when you look at the pile of CVs there was this CV that stood out. The color of the A4 sheet was yellow. So at all the lot, you could just single this out. And when we pull it out, the way it has been structured, the way it has been laid, how neat it was. And the paper was also smelling good. Whether he sprayed perfume on the paper, whatever he did. But this person meant that he wanted to go the extra mile to be called for interview. So the way you carry yourself and carry the way you structure your CV is really, really key in people giving you the second chance for coming for an interview. So my brother should look at those ones things and be able to see that. And I'm sure we can connect him to other professionals who can guide him to be able to tweak his CV and also watch his persona, the way he even engages a panel when he goes to the interview room. We need to look at all that, the body language and all that, even your dressing and appearance at the interview room. I don't know whether if he's dressing the normal SD, a long tie below the belt and all that. You know, we need to look at all these things. How you appearing. Your appearance alone can disqualify you. So we need to be able to, so don't just be restricted, I have a first class so that you give me the job. But other factors come into play.
Thank you so much. I didn't even know that a CV could be like the paper could be a different color than white.
It's a way he wanted to attract attention.
How everybody say, oh, formal, let me use 4 A4 sheet white. Then they write the things on it. It's a really, really good tip. Thank you. I'm coming to you, Constance. You are a human resource professional. And obviously, your general take on the story. And then what do you think companies are looking for when they are, they are interviewing and also when they are picking candidates for their works? Like, what are some of the things they look out for? And how can this guy better himself when it comes to interviewing and then being the one that stands out, that you don't forget immediately he gets out of the seat and walks out,
Okay. Thank you very much, Evie. So you've given me 2 in 1 question. Yes. My first one is my take on it. And I think I wouldn't want to spend so much time on it because Franklin has done a very good job for me.
Right.
He's actually nailed a lot of the issues on the head for me. So I wouldn't waste. But just to add a little to what he said, looking at the story, there is one line in the story that I would like to really pick out and address. There is a line that the person says, they never call me back.
Yes.
Why is it that they never call me back? We have advertised for a role because we are looking for people. And you have applied for the role because you believe you qualify for the role. So why is it that we do not call you back? Before you prepare yourself for the next interview, you need to really assess yourself and understand and do better than what you did for that first interview. So he spoke about appearance, and I would like to, in answering the second part of your question, also touch on that. The way you present yourself, be it a virtual interview or a face-to-face interview, tells the panel how serious you take us. You invited me for this program today. I couldn't have just turned up in my bathrobe. It will show that I'm even not prepared enough for you. So your appearance in this day and age where virtual interviews are just the most common, you should be mindful of your background. Do you have proper internet connectivity? These are all some of the things that as recruiters we look out for. So if you connect to us in an interview and right from the beginning, you are now trying to find where your headsets are and you are so disorganized, I just sit back, I relax, I look at you, and my first judgment of you is this person an organized individual? And so the values of my organization, if I am looking for somebody who is articulate and who can add value, who can be smart and all of that, immediately I start marking you down in my head. So those are some of the things that make some people lose out. And there are some people who could come for interviews and they don't even know what the role title is, especially those who go for jobs through agencies. Some people fail to do that due diligence of asking questions of what the role is about. So somebody would come for the interview, you ask the person a typical question like, what is the role that you have applied for? And what is your understanding of the role? A very basic question. And they don't even know the role title. So if you do not know the role title and you do not know what I'm expecting from you, then my question to you is, what have you come here for this interview for? And so right from the beginning, you would realize that the interview starts becoming difficult for you because I who is interviewing you, I am frustrated, and you are sitting right in front of me, whether virtually or in person, and you have now had to put your thoughts together, and I am also thinking of the next punchline to actually nail you down. So you should prepare, you should know the job title, the job description, what we are looking for, even if there is something in it that you do not have in your CV as yet. And maybe you have learned it as a skill of the CV. You could actually highlight it and bring it out. And in talking about the CV, some people fail to highlight some keywords in their CV.
Okay.
For instance, I am looking for somebody who can work flexible. If I look look at your CV, which is what would actually attract me to invite you for the interview, and I don't see some of these things, there is the possibility that you might not even get an opportunity for an interview with me. Okay. So these are some of the things that could make you miss out even an opportunity for an interview itself. I don't know if you are still hearing me.
I can hear you.
But the last of what I would add is, okay, the last of what I would like to add is, at every single interview, you have one task as a candidate to prove to the panel. Why should we pick you out of the lot that we are interviewing? And it's also, again, starts from your CV. I can actually put one job online right now, and between the first 24 hours, I could get about 360 applications, depending on the scope of the role. And so if I have to go through all these so that I get the relevant people to interview, out of this 360, I am actually looking to interview not more than 5 people. Remember, interviewing 5 people cannot sitting down for more than 6 hours, even if I'm looking to give them about 15 minutes break in between. And so you need to really impress, one, the recruiter that is looking for your CV out of the lot through something like what Franklin was talking about, or if you are submitting it online, you should have it laid out in a way. Some people could have their font sizes all over the places, some starting with upper cases, lower cases, mixed up all over the places, different colors and all of that. You should try as much as possible to keep things simple but relevant. If there is anything that should attract me to call you, it should be found in your CV, so that you can get the chance to sit before the panel and then express yourself. If you are capable of doing a presentation, you might want to share something whilst telling us about yourself or what you're capable of. And after you are done with the interview, do not just leave and expect to be called. Like what the gentleman said, they never called me back. Can you also follow up? So right from setting your CV so you get a job offer, and even send a thank you back to whoever gave you the job offer, you've got, as a candidate, a lot of work to do, and you can't take any of the steps for granted. I hope I've answered quite enough, and I can answer with your other questions.
You have over-answered my question. Thank you so much. Jemima, I'm going to come to you. Let's just go into the crust of the issue of small job offers. So he says he keeps getting job offers that are coming with small salaries, low salaries. Transportation and food is finished, hand to mouth, literally, like he gets a salary, he feeds, it's finished. He's waiting in fact, I don't know, maybe if they pay him 25th, by 20th, he's waiting for the alert, because he knows that if he goes beyond 25th, it will be Gary Soakins for the rest of the day. You know, these are things that people live, these are how people live in Ghana. Most of some of the people that you talk to, they'll tell you, I can't even save. There's nothing like, oh, I've worked and I've saved and now I have this money, I can travel. That is a luxury. We don't have that luxury. So I'll ask you, I'll just ask you, should he accept this offer? Since he's not getting any good offer, should he reject it and keep searching for that good offer?
Thank you, Evie. So as I was reading through the document, a whole lot of questions was running through my head. And so it may feel like a risk accepting a job offer at the last minute without much consideration. But rejecting job offers is just as risky. You see? And the best thing is to kind of keep searching for a job. But should you stay at home? Looking at the story, he was trying to say that he's been staying at home for about 4 years now.
Yes.
Meaning that he is not independent, and he's not in control of his life, because obviously he's currently depending on some other people, which is not so much helpful. If we were living in a perfect world, the question of whether to take a job that we don't want wouldn't even come in at all. But in a real world, like living in our country, Ghana, where everything is so hard, just like he rightly put it, for people to even crack, sometimes things get so much complicated.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing we have to know is that he even said it, that human happiness is more affected by whether or not he has a job than by what kind of job the person is doing. And I really believe that money shouldn't be only the motivation or the motivator when we try to decide on a career that we want to build. And obviously, taking a job solely because the pay is appealing can also increase the likelihood that the job that you are going to take is not going to last for long, or you're not going to like it at the long run. So I believe that the question that he's asking right now, I wouldn't say he is foolish. That is too strong a word for me. But I believe that as we've started the discussion, all he needs right now is to really sit back, know the importance of the discussion that we are having right now, and try to make sense of all the things that we are saying. And I believe that in the end, he will be able to make the right decision. And then hopefully with my honorable guests, great people on the show today, he's going to come up with the best decision, and that he will know what to do afterwards.
Thank you so much. I feel like that was a very diplomatic way of telling him that he should listen and take tips and then use all the advice I will be giving on this show. Yeah. Please, I hope you heard. Do you remember I said it so nicely? I don't know if I would have said it as nice as she did. Okay, talking about looking for jobs. Okay, so I have another thing, completely aside from jobs, but it's talking about looking for things, right? So here I'm saying that have you been looking for 100% plant-based milk? Dairy-free, cholesterol-free, lactose-free, gluten-free, allergic-free, soya-free, 100% vegetarian with no artificial flavors, colors, additives, or preservatives. Then your best bet is cocoa milk. Cocoa milk is sugar-free, low in calories, low in fats, and good for your well-being. You are guaranteed of plant protein, plant fiber, and plant fats. The good news is cocoa milk is good for every tummy, from toddlers to seniors, including breastfeeding and pregnant women. Even ulcers, diabetes patients, anemic, and sickle cell patients is good for you. Cocoa milk is approved by the FDA of Ghana, is vegan, is vegetarian society approved in the UK. You can get some from all Melcom supermarkets, Valley View shops, Ernest Chemist, and all trading shops. For enquiries and bulk purchase, call 02774440 0180, 02774440 0180. Okay, Franklin, I'm just going to ask you this question that I asked Jemima.
Yeah.
If this young man comes to you and says, I've been searching for a job, I get, but the money is small. Yeah. Should I accept? Should I not accept? And also this issue of, do you think you can work and still be searching? Because the 8 to 5, sometimes it's not even 8 to 5. You're closing late, and the time for interviews are usually in the mornings, and you don't know if you can run away. You don't know if you're stealing from Peter to pay Paul. You know, it's a dicey situation.
Oh, so let's see the reality. Now, should you accept? I tell most young people that, look, let not your ideas chase money. Let money chase your ideas.
Okay.
Now, 4 years you've been searching and you've been staying at home. Who is feeding him?
His mother and father.
Yeah, so sometimes I tell parents that sometimes stop the boys, let them get out of the house.
Would you say the same about a girl?
Yeah, for girls, you know, I will guide them to be able to be more proactive.
Yeah.
I tell young people that begin to offer your service for free. if you're looking for proactive job searching, you offer your services for free. It's about building your career and building your capacity to be able to contain higher position. Now, for 4 years, it has gone wasted.
Yeah.
That was an opportunity to be able to advance your career to way level, and that is experience lost. So I will tell you that, look, take up the role and ensure that you build your experience for the years. You finish 4 years after national service, you want to have 4 decades, 5 decades, 6 decades as salary. It's not going to happen. You use the first 3 to 4 years of your life after national service to build your career. Because you are going to transition. Now, within the search for a job, as you build your career within that space, opportunities open for you. People see and they even want to poach you because of how you work. You don't need to go searching for the job when you're already on one. But opportunities come and you feel that now I am ready to take up this role. If you don't start, you will never know the other doors that may be opening for you. So these are very critical. So I tell people that, look, for the period that you have not even gotten any offer, go to a company you feel your services will be needed, offer your services for free. And most Ghanaian young people are not ready to go through that. And even parents are not ready to allow their children to offer they prefer their children to stay home for them to feed them. We had experience, one of our companies, there was this young man who was working with us. He started with us, and for the role that he was playing, first degree national service done, we were ready to offer him at a starting point of 600 cedis. The mother says, "Eka 600, come and stay home and I'll feed you."
Oh.
Okay, so now it's been almost since 2014 to date. That's about 6 years. The guy is still home. Do you know the level of experience we have built over these years? So we need to be able to take up positions, not for the sake of the money. You are fortunate you've been home 4 years, you are eating every day. It means that you could take up this position to be able to build yourself up. And that is the time you have wasted. That's the aspect that pains me, that you have wasted 4 years, but it's not late. Take up opportunity, even if it's low paying, take it up, build yourself up, and that will lead to the next line of job, which you may never dream of. It will come because of how you excel at a job. The way you are, his behavior now shows that when he gets to the job, it is not about the commitment to improve the company, but how much he will get into his pocket. That kind of mentality, even employers will see through by interviewing you. When you are just, your attention is just focused not on the growth of the company, but on your personal pockets. So we need to begin to look at these things, and it's very key. So young people who are home, there are many companies who will be ready to offer. And I can tell you, when you come to a company or an organization that I want to offer my services for free, no one will say go away. And once you are there, nobody will watch you that, look, come every month and nothing for you. By the time you realize, and I have a typical example in my office, a gentleman finished his service for 2 years, he has not been paid. Today, we are roping him onto a World Bank project, and he's taking over 5,000 cedis a month. That is patience. No salary for 2 years, but occasionally we give him some stipend to take care of the TNT and all that. But he stayed on until now. There's a project, a World Bank project that he qualified because he has worked with us. He knows the job, so we are pushing him in, and he's taking over 5,000 cedis. So we need to begin to take advantage of some of these opportunities.
That is absolutely true. And you know, when I was reading the story, I was thinking, obviously, I don't have any knowledge when it comes to HR and when it comes to employment and all that. So I was thinking through 5 years he's been home. But what you just said right now, it means on his CV, there's a gap.
There's a gap.
And they'll wonder, what have you been doing with your life?
Questions.
So you won't be picked.
Yes.
You see, and as Jemima said, sometimes we are following money, 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 but you are losing out, like big time. Oh, that's so sad. The realization just hits, and it's so sad. We'll have to go for a quick break, but before we go, please, New Leaf Hospital and Hope Channel have joined forces to present to the youth the Health and Wellness Summit, coming to you live from the AMSDA Church adjacent New Leaf Hospital, Bamiri Road, Techiman, from the 5th to 7th of March 2022. Topics to be discussed include global burden of disease, a look at communicable and non-communicable diseases and accidents, blue zones living beyond 100, healthy habits for long life wellness, and mental well-being. A look at stress, addiction, and suicide. Speakers include Dr. Maurice Mensah, Pastor Kwesi Amoako, Mrs. Barbara Hammond, and Mr. Seth Ajiman. Dr. Seth Ajiman. The Health and Wellness Summit is brought to you by Hope Channel and supported by New Leaf Hospital, the Adventist Church, Advent Press, and Valley View University. Radio, official radio partner, Asta 103.9 FM Techiman. Asta 103.9 FM Techiman. We'll be right back after this break. Please do not go anywhere. When we come back, we'll obviously look at handling this particular situation, what this guy should start doing. And also we'll look at skill sets and then job availabilities. Because it's looking like we go to school and we have certificates, but it's not bringing us any job offers. So don't go anywhere. I'll be right back after the break.
Dairy-free coconut milk. Cocoa Dairy-free coconut milk is a fully plant-based milk, non-curdling in tea or coffee, and it's a lovely treat with any breakfast beverage or meal. It contains calcium and vitamin D2 for strong teeth and bones, and vitamin B12 to help boost your blood for vitality. Cocoa is 100% vegetarian and is approved by the Vegetarian Society of UK. It's also lactose and dairy-free, which is good even for people with lactose intolerance. Cocoa, get one today. Cocoa Dairy-free coconut milk. Nature's health at your doorstep. For bulk purchases, contact 027-444-0180. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Cocoa Dairy-free coconut milk.
For the lack of knowledge, you will perish, as the Bible says in Hosea 4 verse 6.
The grace, the blood of Jesus is there for us. So I can't be sick. I can't be poor. I cannot suffer affliction.
Jesus told you, be faithful unto death to receive the crown of life. We have to go through tribulation. We have to go through problems, because there will be no crown without a cross.
The verse says that we would go through afflictions because of his name's sake.
Yes.
There are lots of eye-opening discussions to prepare you for the second coming of Jesus Christ.
Welcome back from that quick break. We are still in the studios of Hope TV. We are talking with Franklin. Franklin is here with me in the studio. Constance is joining me virtually. Jemima is also joining me virtually. Jemima is in the US, Constance is in the UK. And we've been talking about unemployment in Ghana. We got a story in today about a young man after national service. He hasn't gotten a job 4 years. So he did get some job offers, but the salaries were low, and so he rejected them. And now friends and family are calling him names and calling him unserious because they think he can take the job and then probably find others on the side. But he thinks it's too small, his hand to mouth is a waste of time. So he'd rather stay home and then keep searching. But I think the weight of the issue is finally dawning on him, and he wants to know what he should do moving forward. And we've been talking to amazing people in the studio today. I've learned a lot, honestly, and I'm so grateful. I always say that this show, sometimes the people that come on, the things I tap into, so we say I tap into your blessing. That is what we are doing on this show today. Okay, so coming back quickly, I'll come to you, Jemima, and then I'll ask, how do you think this guy should handle this situation? You know, he is at home, he's not doing anything, and just before we went, Franklin mentioned that 4 years, it shows nothing on his CV. And after national service, it means you haven't really done anything. And Franklin mentioned from the beginning that they look at experience more than certification. So it's like they will consider him as a newbie in the system. So how would he manage himself now? What do you suggest he should do? You are with the students. How would you advise someone like this who comes to you? Do you think he should go back to school? Do you think he should start doing something? What is your opinion on that?
Saying that he should go back to school is a difficult thing because currently he is not working, and meaning he doesn't have no money to go to school, and education is a little bit expensive, because looking where he is now, he has a degree, a first degree. So taking a master's program is going to be a hard thing for him. So for now, he should try and find something to do. But then, as Franklin rightly said, there's been a gap.
Yeah.
And this gap is going to have a great impact on his job search. And so as it stands now, all that he could do is to just find something to do. Right here in the US, I don't really know about Ghana, but have much information as it stands now in Ghana. But when you are applying for a job, on your resume, you need to kind of put some kind of volunteer job that will also boost your resume. And sometimes you have to put some kind of project that you've done and some kind of skills that you've done also in school. And so maybe this guy wasn't so much involved in school, but it's a very important thing that we do. Obviously, in Ghana, when you go to our various campuses, there are a lot of things that do not go on as compared to what we are having in the States right now. Even here on our various campuses, we have career offices that you could go. They will help you build your resume, your CV. You do interviews. And even in some of our courses, they let us do they inculcate some kind of interviews, especially when you are about to graduate and all that. We have all those resources. Even when you don't have clothes to wear for interviews, you can go to the career offices and get all those things. But when we come to Ghana, most of our universities are not having all those resources in place. So this is kind of something that is not really helping the students right now. But individually, we could do some kind of research and then try to build on those things by ourselves, since we don't have them incorporated in our various universities. And so for now, what this guy should also put at the back of his mind is that he was talking about depression and all that. Yes, as I earlier on said, job search shouldn't only based on the money that we are going to get out of it. But it has a lot of things that we could get out of, important things that we could get whilst we are working, like creating connections, building resume, as we already said, and then also getting more skills, even building our confidence level, getting self-esteem, helping our mental well-being and all that. And so whilst he considers all these things, I feel he has to take a step forward and try to find himself something to do. And also, the wasted years that he has lost is going to have a big impact on when he wants to get a job, because they are going to look into all those things.
Yeah.
And so he should just take a bold step and try to find something to do. And I also think that he shouldn't really look at, obviously, the jobs that he's searching for are jobs that he is interested.
Yeah. So
once he is interested, he should just go ahead and do it. He asks that, what if things do not change? He should be very intentional in whatever he is trying to do right now, as it stands now.
Yeah.
We have a lot of people that goes to do some kind of work that they have nothing to take home. But as they work, looking at the potentials and how they are working hard and all that, they are able to get people to recommend them so they can move forward.
Right. Yeah.
So it is not just about the money aspect, but he should just be intentional that this thing that I am going to do, I am going to put in my very best, just so I could move forward in the career. But looking at the way he stated it, it feels like he's not being so much intentional, which obviously is not going to help him.
Okay.
So now what he has to do right now to step up, find himself a job. It doesn't really matter. He shouldn't pay so much attention about the salary. If the salary can pay your TNT, get you something to eat, that is okay. It's just a stepping stone.
Yeah.
People did not start huge as he's expecting right now. A life begins with a step. So he should just take a step, and gradually, I think he's going to get to the point that he wants to be. Right. So he should be very intentional in whatever decision he's taking right now. Okay. That's all I have to say to him.
Thank you so much, Jemima. Constance, I'm going to come to you. You mentioned that, I think you mentioned it off, maybe you should mention it again about the gap being a red flag when you are going through CVs. Yeah. And also, I would ask how this guy should manage this situation. Would you say that when a job with a low salary comes in, he should pick it? And also the issue of doing that job and then the going ahead to interview for other jobs. Yeah. You being an HR person, like how can he manage that situation, you know, where he is not, because it can affect his productivity in the one he's got if he's all about the place, you know, going for interviews when he's supposed to be working. And then any final comment you may have. I know our time is fast spent, so I want to put everything in so that you talk for me once and for all.
Okay, thank you very much, Evie. So you've really made it packed for me. Yes. So for the red flag portion, indeed, and I think both Jemima and Franklin have mentioned it, indeed, it is a red flag when you have gaps in your CV. And we call it a red flag because you will have to account for it. So for these 4 to 5 years that this individual has been staying at home, when the person goes for an interview, the person should make up his mind or her mind that he is going to actually respond to why. Can you account, a typical question like, can you account for the gap in your salary? Usually that is how we pose the question. And I was explaining to you earlier on that there has been countless occasions where I have observed candidate freeze when that question is posed, because some of them don't even prepare to explain that. They think, oh, once their CV is in that order, we can just get over it. No, it doesn't. Sometimes even months. There are 2 questions that could be asked in relation to how your CV is set up. People who do not spend enough time at a job, you can be asked a question like, how come you keep changing jobs so quickly? We are just interested in knowing about why you might not be stable. And if you have not been on the jobs for a long time, you need to explain to us why you have been unemployed for a long time. Yeah. Yes, we do understand that unemployment is at a high rate in Ghana, just like in many parts of the world. However, we expect that once you have the relevant skills and experience, you should be in employment. There are people who may take time off work to go to school. It is very important that your CV states the time that you were in employment and the time that you were in school. And talking about school, I think in Ghana, it is people just believe, oh, I finished secondary school, let me go to the university. Yes. Finish first degree, let me go and do my master's. Yeah. Finish master's, let me go and do my PhD. Every day is school, just because they have people to sponsor them. Please. Gone are the days when we were just interested in certificates. Now we want people with experience, and we want people with good attitude. Yeah. So when you're going for an interview and you have a positive attitude, you can have a recruiter who would find interest in you and be willing to bring you into the organization based on your cultural fitness. Yeah. Cultural fitness means that when I bring you into my organization, you can actually fit within where I want to see my organization in the next 5 to 10 years, and I can train you to get there, to grow. And so I can bring you in, and it is very important for us. So please, let us not focus on school, or staying at home. And another thing is, I think Momo has become so common in Ghana now. Please, I am not employed, send me Momo. And because Momo senders are so quick to send Momo to people who claim they are not employed, they don't even feel the need to go and get jobs. Yeah. Please stop relying on those Momo, and then get a job. Because when you come for an interview, you cannot explain that I was sustaining myself based on Momo. That is quite a lazy response. And there are people who find themselves in vulnerable situations, especially the women, have men take advantage of them, have some of them just follow people's husbands and all those kind of things just because they don't want to commit themselves into getting some work done for themselves.
Right.
Please do not leave that gap in your CV or in your work experience because you would have to explain. Another thing is some jobs have entry job roles, and when you don't enter it at a certain age and you miss out your timeline, the job does not wait for you. And so you might have certain jobs not wanting to employ people beyond 30 years or beyond 32 years or 36 years. Why? Because maybe we are looking for people with a certain skill set and speed and energy. If you are maybe above 40 years, you might not have that flair and that energy, that enthusiasm to actually do that job. And so we might not give you the opportunity. You might even have a cutoff based on me spotting your date of birth on your CV. Or if it is through a recruitment agency, I can actually find out that information and then weed you out. So please, let us try and give ourselves the relevance that we need for our careers at the right time.
Right.
So get into the job market, find yourself a job. I know it is difficult. I understand this gentleman's situation. I might not have physically been in it, but based on my interaction with millions of people who are looking for employment, I do come across some of these experiences from people's perspective. And so it's very important that people get themselves relevant in jobs. And there are jobs that are done remotely. So I'll just give one website like Indeed.com. Indeed.com does employ people remotely for various organizations across the world.
Okay, Constance, I would need you to quickly send me that website on WhatsApp right now. I'll put it out there.
Okay, I'll do that. No problem. Yes. So look for a job, go online, Google for jobs that can take remote experience. You could be sitting in Accra, you could be sitting in Kumasi. There is somebody looking for your kind of skill set in Sunyane or in Takrady. The person might be willing to employ you remotely. In this day and age, it is possible. You do not have an excuse sitting at home saying that you don't have a job. When somebody is killing to just employ you. And then what can you do whilst you are in employment to still get a job? Be bold enough to tell the recruiter that.
Unfortunately, we can't take all that. Can you like in a sentence, just in a sentence, because Franklin has to give his closing remarks as well.
Okay, no problem. I mean, just that line, just be willing to tell an employer that, please, can you accommodate me online? It is possible. Sometimes we do. And my final words would include, do not just give one CV for all jobs. Sometimes edit your CV before you send it to a recruiter. And I wish this gentleman and everybody looking for a job all the best.
Okay, that's a good point. Edit your CV to suit the job that you are offering for.
Job application.
It's not one man fits it or you know.
Then just throw it in.
Yes.
You need to be able to ensure that you look at the job specification and tailor-made your CV to suit the specification and the description for the job. Okay, Franklin, for you, I would ask about to speak on areas of study and job availability, and then your final words. All right. You see, currently we have about 2.2 million youth in Ghana between ages of 18 to 35 who are unemployed. That is the reality. But despite this rising graduate unemployment and youth unemployment, 50% of employers in Ghana are reporting about vacancies of hard to fill positions.
50%?
Yeah, 50% of companies have vacancies in the organization which are hard to fill.
Wow.
And because if you look at it currently, Ghana, within the last couple of years, produced less than 1,000 graduates with digital technology ideas as part of their portfolio in terms of the academic credentials. So most of them are not fitting into some of the roles. Ghana in the sub-Saharan Africa have some of the highest job mismatch across, and most of us, so we have round pegs fitting into square holes. They come in, but they cannot really perform at the job. So this is very critical. So I want parents to look at the dynamics now. Even if you are going through the humanities, ensure that you build yourself in the technological world as well. Now, technology can cut across every sector, whether in the tourism sector, whether every sector of the year. So, whilst you are even home, the gentleman could have even built himself with advanced Excel. A certain young man had a job with the Honorable Minister because he could put up one of the fantastic PowerPoints. And the way he does his PowerPoint presentation, the minister said, you are going to sit in my office, I pay you thousands of cedis, and all my presentation, you do them.
Wow.
That's all he specializes in. So we shouldn't sit at home. Yes, go through, you may be doing psychology, philosophy, all those courses, theoretical and dancing, but ensure that you are building yourself technically and digitally with respect to the fourth industrial revolution, where things are changing. Older women are even trying to become computer savvy. How much more? A first degree holder does not even have an email address. If not with Google, that has come in that you have to by force create one to be able to access, to use your phone. People do not even have email addresses.
That's true.
How do you use your LinkedIn to be able to build your portfolio? How do you use your Facebook page? Let me tell people that as soon as you apply for a job and we see your name, we Google your Facebook page and your LinkedIn to check how you even conduct yourself on your Facebook page and on your LinkedIn. And we see all your guide names and showing all the disrespect to people. You are already out. You don't even call. So watch, if people are not calling you for interview, watch what you put at your LinkedIn, what you put at your Facebook page. That is not the reason why we are not calling you. So people should be mindful. Now the world has become a global village. Smart, everybody wants to Google you. So when you are there, Google your name, see what comes up. If it's not interesting, start changing and wiping them off the screen. And I think we can go along. But the gentleman, I'll be glad to help him. We can meet him. I want to give him the opportunity to pitch to me. And let's see what he can offer, and we'll see the way we can help. I think this is what the program is there for. So you can link him up to us, and let's see how best we can let him, so that we can have a first-hand information exactly how the situation is like. Then we'll report to Constance and Jemima as well.
All right. Thank you so much, you guys. I'm so grateful. I think this has been one of the most educative sessions, and I'm grateful for the tips. I'm grateful for the reality on the ground as you shared with us, and hopefully this young man, and in fact, not just him, a lot of people are going through this, because some of the comments we got, you can see that it's not just this man. Everyone is going through it. I'll read just one. This one says, I spent over 10 years working for others, and what I earn cannot even pay for data. The nature of, which is the nature that of the job requirements. He needs data for a week, let alone transportation and feeding. I don't want to even add rent. All those years, I was gathering knowledge and experience since... Oops, this just went off. It says, all those years I was gathering knowledge and experience. Let me grab it quickly. Yes, so it says, I was gathering knowledge and experience. Where is it? Yes, since I was always writing my ideas down and testing my ideas to see if I would succeed, if I should run my own business in future. Today, those experiences I gathered, and by the grace of God, I am self-employed, married with a son, and I've been able to buy a land at a prime area and hope to start building this month. All these happened in just 2.5 years. So my dear, start from somewhere, gather all the knowledge and experiences for all you know. God would use that to build you a better life. I wouldn't say you are being foolish, that's too strong a word, but you are being childish. Thank you so much. And let me put the... what's it called? Constance, Constance, I think you mentioned. Constance said Indeed.com. Indeed, INDEED.com. So please check that one out. And also check out LinkedIn as well. Check that one out as well. Thank you guys so much. I'm so grateful I had this conversation. I feel like I've learned a lot. I'm grateful. And, you know, sometimes you do have jobs and jobs are still coming in and you feel like, oh, that is it. But remember that things do change. Things do change. Situations come and things do change. But like one of the things they said that I keep going back to is package yourself in such a way that the job opportunities follow you. So that you are not constantly chasing. Someone will call you, oh, we need your help in this because we heard you are good in this, you know, and then you sell yourself. At the end of the day, it won't be hand to mouth. You'll be at home and then your knowledge and ideas will be working for you. It's investment of your knowledge. Thank you guys so much. I'm so grateful you came. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm very excited about this episode. I feel like If you watch, you learned a lot. If you couldn't watch today, we repeat on Thursday at 1 p.m. Make sure you catch the repeat and watch. We'll be back same time next week with another exciting episode, another set of amazing panelists. And I am sure you can enjoy the rest of the content on Hope TV as well. Please enjoy the rest of your day. Have a lovely evening and good night. My name remains Evie.
Christ is King. Hallelujah. Christ is King. Hallelujah. Christ is King. We have His hope that burns within our heart. Hope in the coming of the Lord.
Hope Channel, changing lives.